I used to sit on my bed, staring at the ceiling, vividly imagining the exact life I wanted. I would get this massive, warm rush of motivation. I felt invincible. And then, I would immediately roll over, grab my phone, and scroll on social media for 3 straight hours. Me, lying there in the dark, watching other people live their lives while mine completely stood still. I told myself I was just gathering inspiration, that I was waiting for the perfect magical moment to finally start. That was the most expensive lie I ever believed. Because I wasn't waiting for the perfect moment. I was paralyzed. If you have massive dreams, but you can't seem to force yourself to actually do a single thing to make them happen, you probably think you are just lazy. You look in the mirror and call yourself weak. You think you just lack discipline. But what if that popular self-help advice is completely backwards? I went deep on this. Read the research, studied behavioral psychology, and looked into why the human brain actively sabotages its own greatest desires. And what I found changed how I read every single goal-setting strategy going forward. Because here's the ridiculous truth most people never hear. You are not lazy. Scientifically, lazy people actually enjoy doing absolutely nothing. They sit on the couch, watch TV, and are perfectly happy. You, on the other hand, are miserable. When you're putting off a massive client script or studying for university exams, you aren't relaxing. You are suffering. You suddenly deep clean your apartment or reorganize your sock drawer. You answer completely unimportant emails. Your brain gives you a fake hit of dopamine because technically you did something. But at the end of the day, the brutal reality hits. You haven't made a single inch of progress. The guilt builds up like a massive, invisible concrete wall between you and the life you desperately want. Psychological studies have shown that you are not stuck in a productivity problem. You are stuck in an emotional loop. You are dealing with a perfectly functioning, highly aggressive biological defense mechanism. Once you understand how this invisible trap works, you can completely dismantle it. You just need a few specific tricks to outsmart your own biology. So, let's get into it. Trick 1. Stop fighting the task. Start fighting the feeling. Here is something that blew my mind when I first read the research. Psychologist Tim Pichel found a terrifying pattern. You aren't avoiding the work. You're avoiding the unpleasant feeling that comes before it. When you sit down to start that project, what happens? You feel a sudden spike of self-doubt. You feel overwhelmed. You feel the heavy fear of not being good enough. Your brain's alarm system, the amygdala, detects those negative emotions and immediately sounds the alarm. It literally flags your own dream as an active threat to your survival. So you open TikTok or walk to the fridge for the 5th time. Anything to escape the feeling. And this avoidance loop permanently reinforces the neural pathway of procrastination. But here's the incredible news. If your brain can learn to avoid, it can be mathematically trained to do the exact opposite. Trick 2. The forgiveness hack and cognitive distancing. This one feels illegal because of how strangely simple it is. Most guys think if they just beat themselves up enough, if they feel enough guilt and shame, they will finally get to work. But psychology tells a completely different story. Dr. Piers Steele proved that guilt is the primary fuel for procrastination. By holding on to that shame, you are literally regenerating the exact negative feeling your brain is trying to escape. You are feeding the monster. The solution is to instantly break the cycle using a psychological tool called cognitive distancing. When that heavy wave of doubt hits you, do not fight it in your head. Write it down on a physical piece of paper. Write, "I feel completely overwhelmed and terrified." The second it's on paper, it stops being a reality and becomes a thought. You separate your identity from the emotion and realize, this is just a feeling. It is not a fact. This one tiny shift completely changes the emotional climate of the first 30 seconds. Again, pure psychology. Trick 3, the Zeigarnik loophole. I spent years trying to hype myself up for massive 8-hour work sessions, and I would always fail because the mountain was just too big. Trying to be impressive to yourself is exhausting. The absolute easiest way to start is to outsmart your brain's defense mechanism by making the task absurdly, ridiculously small. Don't tell yourself you're going to write an entire video script. Tell yourself you'll open your laptop and type exactly one single hook. Don't say you're going to the gym for an hour. Just put on your shoes. When the task is that small, the amygdala does not trigger. The stress melts away, and the invisible wall disappears. As soon as you type that hook, a massive psychological effect takes over. It is called the Zeigarnik effect. Decades of behavioral research show that the human brain absolutely despises unfinished tasks. It hates open loops. Once you start something, your brain will desperately want to finish it. Your only job is to trick your brain into crossing the starting line. Your biology will automatically carry you the rest of the way. Trick 4. The ghost protocol. You need to make the right choice, the absolute easiest choice in your environment. Most people rely on willpower to get things done, but willpower is a finite resource. It drains every single time you have to make a decision. If your phone is buzzing on your desk and you have to actively choose to ignore it, you are bleeding willpower. You have to set up your environment the night before. Leave your sneakers right in front of your door so you trip over them. Have your laptop sitting open with the exact document loaded. Block every single distracting website. Put your phone in another room and eliminate the friction. You are bypassing your brain's lazy filter entirely. You are quietly telling your brain, "We are already doing this," and your brain simply believes you. Trick 5. Bring the reward into the present. This one hits different when you finally master it. The main reason you scroll on social media instead of working on your dream is a timing issue. Social media gives you an instant, immediate hit of cheap dopamine. Building a business or getting in shape gives you a massive, valuable reward. But you don't get it for 6 months. The human brain is biologically hardwired to prioritize immediate rewards over delayed ones. To fix this, you have to celebrate the start. Like a hero. When you complete that first absurdly small task, reward yourself instantly. Take a sip of a really great coffee or put on your favorite song. It sounds silly, but psychological studies have shown that this physically rewires your brain. It teaches your dopamine system that doing the hard work feels good right now, not just 5 years in the future. Trick 6. Repetition over perfectionism. Here is something that literally destroys most people's potential. Research consistently shows that perfectionism is one of the strongest triggers for procrastination. You think you have high standards, but you actually have a crippling fear of failure. Perfectionists are so sensitive to making a mistake that they would rather do absolutely nothing than do something poorly. You have to let go of the expectation that whatever you start has to be flawless. Your first attempt is going to be terrible. Embrace it. It is just a try. It is a rough draft. If it fails, you just do it again. It is no big deal. You do not succeed in spite of your mistakes. You succeed because of them. As Michael Jordan said, "I've failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed." Because people don't fall for perfect. They fall for consistent. Final truth. Here is the truth I needed someone to tell me years ago. If you recognize these harsh patterns in your own life right now, it can feel incredibly heavy. But you can completely let go of the exhausting need to wait for a magical flash of motivation. Motivation is a myth. Action creates motivation, not the other way around. When you stop twisting yourself into knots, treating your goals like an intimidating life or death test, and start treating them like a series of ridiculously small, low-stakes games, your entire energy changes. You stop acting out of fear, and you start operating from quiet curiosity. You don't beat yourself up anymore. You don't punish yourself with pressure, doubt, and the heavy feeling that you are not good enough. Because that simply doesn't work. You are neither weak nor lazy. From now on, you are someone who doesn't just sit on the couch and dream. You are someone who quietly, consistently makes things happen.